Hey everybody, we're back. I'm still messing with these camera settings, so give me a little bit of leeway until I figure this camera out. I think I've got the lighting settings a little bit better than it was, but we're going to see how it works. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to lay out all the components that are going to go on the wing. And those are the flap actuators and the leading edge actuators as they go in from the bottom. So I'm going to bring the camera in here and start showing you some of these components. And you can kind of understand what we're doing here. So these right here, you'll notice that I've got servo wires for each of these places. This is where the flap actuators go, and across the leading edge over there is where the actuators go for the leading edge slats. So what I've got to do right now is, this is the left wing. This says R, so that's the right wing. So we're going to set this over by the right wing for now. And this one says left, F1, so that's going to be number 1. Doesn't make sense because I don't have my driver link on there. And I thought I tested every one of these. So this is flat 6. F6. So I've kind of messed up here. I thought I marked, oh, wait. That's right. The left wing didn't have anything. So this is number 6. So yeah, this will go here. This is the left. Okay, see, I never put any of my ball links on the left wing. It must be because I tested. Well, this is the left wing. And this is flat 3, which makes no sense. Why would F3? Hang on, guys. I've marked all of these a couple of times and I've screwed up how I did it. So, let's get them all out for a minute and look at them. Number 5, so that would go here. This is number 4, so that goes here. So these, oh, that's an aileron. Okay, that is the left aileron. So this is the aileron down here. So this is the left wing. And this is F3. Yep, that makes sense. These have the ball links. These go on the other wing. Okay, it makes sense now. And that's F2 for the left wing, and there's the aileron. So, okay, this is making sense now. So let's move the camera down here for a minute. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. So this is the aileron for this wing. And I'm nervous because I don't see my wire in there right now. And these are the actuators for the flaps. And now I'm trying to figure out why I don't see my wire hanging out. Because I went to great lengths to run my wires in here. And it's not there. So that means before I go any further, I need to check the other wing real quick, find out where it went. And it's there. Okay, so there's that aileron wire. But on this one, it has slid back into the wing, which is no good. So we've got to find out where it went. And it was living right, and here it is. And it fell out of the hole. So let's get the camera so you can all see a little bit better here. But right here is the aileron. and cable, and let's see if I can find that hole without putting a string back through here. Oh, it's way down there. And there's one right there. So, with any luck here, what I'm going to try to do, and I'm just making sure I got my microphone turned on, but what I'm going to attempt to do here has never been done in the free world. And it's really chancy, iffy, that I can even get through that hole. I know the hole's right about there. Hole, there it is. And we got it through the hole. So hopefully I can now push this off that cable. And it came out, and it did. This is a big honking wing, everybody. And there's my wire. Let me put my flashlight in there. And eureka. Now I probably should put a wire keep right there so that doesn't fall back in there. The problem is I've been epoxying them all in, and I don't want to epoxy a wire keep in because it's going to take, well, I got plenty of time because I can use 10-minute epoxy. But I need to put a wire keep. If you don't know what wire keeps is, my buddy Berger and Dean invented them, and they're super cool. And I just happen to have a shitload of them. And let's find my scissors. My scissors are epoxied shut. Oh no, there we go. You can tell I've been doing a lot of epoxy work, everybody. So these wire keeps, not sure how good you can see this or if it's going to focus. It's these little foam things that I epoxy in here. And you slide your wire in there and then either take hot melt glue or a little bit of CA and put on there, and it glues it, and it's fine. So I just noticed a warning on my camera. Me being a typical male, I didn't charge the battery that's in this one, so I may stop the camera for a minute and start it back up because I got two batteries. The other one's fully charged. And this one's starting to tell me the battery's going low. But we probably got enough time to put these two wire keeps in. And if you don't know by now, I love paper plates because if you're doing anything on your wing or working with epoxy, they don't cost hardly anything. They protect your wing from getting stuff dripped on it when you're working on the wing. So I'm going to goop a little bit of epoxy on this wire keep here. Okay, and I'm going to stick it right back here in the wing, back behind where the servo is, and then once that's cured, I'll put my wire in there, and that will ensure that I don't lose my wire in the wing again. I've already put all the wire keeps in for the spoilers and ailerons and flaps. I'm sorry, the spoilers, flaps, and leading edge slats. I just forgot to do it on the ailerons. And that is pretty cool. So now I need to grab, this is the aileron actuator that goes here. These are the flap actuators. Now, so you understand how this works, I always do everything in 90-degree strokes. So basically, this servo will move all the way to here, so when the flap's down, it's locked down. And when the servo's all the way up, it's locked up. I have 180 degrees of travel on that servo. And then this servo, this is number, see, this doesn't make sense, my numbering system here. I must have, and it doesn't matter. Oh, that's not a 7, that's a L. So this is number 3. That's number 1. Okay, oh, no, number 1, 2. I should say number 2. It does. Okay, I got it figured out now. So basically, I'm going to slide this in like that. And now it just hit me. I don't know where I put my servo locker keeper things or whatever the hell you call them. I just got 2 big bags of them. I better put them with my wiring. I did. So, one thing I do love, everybody, is Amazon Prime. I got 20 of these servo, well, here, let me open it. You all know what I'm talking about. I call them servo wire locks. But these little guys here, I got 20 of them for like $6 on Amazon Prime. So, that's pretty cheap with some of the other places I found. And they fit perfect. So that one's locked in. Now, keep in mind, my spoiler is right underneath this. So once I get all this wire in here and I get this actuator screwed in here, I'll have to be careful to go to the other side where I have wire keeps to make sure that I've got everything not in the way of binding each other or getting tangled up with anything. So I'm not sure I even try to fit all the ones on this size yet, but this one's fitting fine. Yeah. It's a little bit tight right there. So what I'm going to do is pop this back out. Hang on. And I need to get my X-Acto, or not an X-Acto, but one of my blades. And just slightly open that up. And as you know, I love putting wheels on everything. And I just need to take my blade and just real lightly run down the edge here. I don't want to cut the wing out because I painted it. Okay. Now, I will tell you one thing about this airplane. All the tolerances are freaking super tight. I didn't do that on purpose. Just the way it all came out. And all of this just fits really super tight. Which I guess is good. There it goes. There it goes. So that actuator will now have 6 button head screws that will screw it in there, and 440 button heads. I'll go ahead and put my ball joint on the end here that which will connect to the flap. So what I'm going to do right now is change batteries on my camera and make sure that I've got a good fresh battery in the camera. And come back here in a minute. I'm just curious if all these are going to fit super tight. I hope they don't. No, that fit. That fit perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I do have a little bit of foam, styrofoam I need to cut away. I never tested the right wing, I only tested the left wing. So what I'm going to do now, everybody, is change batteries on this camera and come back here in a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, make sure that my epoxy is curing good on those wire keeps on the 2 wings. There they are. So my plan is to try to, tonight, get all the actuators that go into the bottom of the wing on both wings, flip the wing over, hook back up all the servos that run to the spoilers, and then, no, I'm sorry, that's not right. What I want to do is put in all the actuators on the bottom. I want to start fitting the leading edge slats because they actually screw in from the bottom first of the, let me show you what one of those look like. If you've never seen the way my leading edge slats work. Basically, this device right here is mounted in the leading edge. This one does not have a motor on it. This one is just a guide to keep the rest of them straight. But the one that has a motor on it is this guy right here. And if you'll notice, the servo has 180 degrees of travel. So when it's all the way down and locked, so that's how much the leading edge slat will go down. And this is the leading edge slat all the way up. So I need to get those mounted, but the actual leading edge slat, the skin, is this fiberglass right here, okay? And I screw the bottom in first to make sure it's in the right spot. And then I stretch it around the rest of the airfoil there and screw it in, pulling it really tight, because I can't really show it very good. But once that's in there tight, it fits perfect. I think you can see that. So I want to get the leading edges on and get all the screws, because all these holes have to line up. If you can see some of the holes in this, they have to get lined up and screw into this. So I will come back in a little bit. Everybody wants to change this battery, and we will go from there. Hopefully the lighting is looking a lot better in this camera. I'm starting to figure it out. I just got it today, and it's not a true 4K. They advertise it as 4K, but for $250, you're not going to get a really good 4K camera. But this has got a great microphone, a boom microphone on it, and it's going to give me a lot better quality than Facebook Live had, and it's really a cool little camera. So finally, I'm excited with making these videos again. Rock on, everybody. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, everybody, we're back. I've turned the wings around right now because I'm letting that epoxy cure on the other side. I went away for a couple of minutes, changed the batteries out in the camera, and we should be good to go right now. So what I'm going to do now is work out the leading edge slats. I had numbered some of these. See, this says 10L. This is the right wing. So I'm guessing this goes here, and that looks right. So I've got to dig all of these out right now. Let me move my camera around a little bit so you guys can kind of see the complete ratsmith I created of leading edge slat stuff. Just so you know, all these leading edge slats are 3D printed, and doesn't make sense. 10 right. Yeah, there's 10 of these. So that's 10 right. That's 7 right. This is 7. Uh-oh. So 7 left. This is 4 left. This looks to be 5 left. This looks like 8 left. So these are all 3D printed, and they took me forever to design. Many late evenings, a long time ago. So we got 9 left. We've got 6 left. Right, yeah, 6 left. Got 3 left. Got 8 right. 2 left. 1 right. I tell you, logistically, keeping all of this under control took forever, everybody. That's 4 right. This does not have a number, which sucks. This is 6 right. 4, 5, 6. I'm guessing this is 1 left because that's the only powered one I can't find right now. This is 5 right. 5. 9 right. 3 right. 2 right. And this has got to be 1 left. So there's a groove, just so you understand how this all works. Let me bring the camera in. There's a groove in the wing. So when you remember the wings being flipped over, I showed you those grooves that were in the wing. And those grooves are for this part. This is the leading edge of the wing. Okay, this is the leading edge. And then the airfoil. So this has to live in a groove because the top of this is flush with the wing. Okay, so when this goes in right here, it slides in that groove. Let me, I'm going to lower my tripod. Everybody bear with me. I'm sorry if I make you seasick here for a minute. Okay. So as this moves, there's a groove it's sliding in right there. And when I flip the wing over, you'll be able to see it fine. But these are just the guide tracks for it. And for some reason, this one's not going flush. So I wonder what I did wrong. Oh, there it goes. I think, yep, there it goes. There's these grooves I made. I did epoxy them to make them strong. I think there was a little chunk of epoxy in there, but that's going flush now. But I tell you, this was one of the coolest things I've invented, guys, or designed. I mean, it's amazing how well these turned out. I mean, I'm just excited as hell. So all these guides go in there, and this is what the leading edge slats are going to be actuated off of. Now I am going to, once I get the plane ready to test fly, I'm going to go in here and figure out either with rubber bands or zip tires or something how to ensure that none of this wire in here, they're all in there on wire keeps right now. Let me see if I can show you. Let's see, hang on everybody, I'm going to flip my viewfinder around here. But see down inside there, you can see the two wire keeps that are holding the wires in place. So those are what I use the wire keeps for. Hang on everybody, I'm flipping the camera back around. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, just like that. So, you know, I'm going to use that cable connector or lock to make sure that the, the connector can't come undone in there. And this is a motorized one. This is one of the powered ones. And it fit in there perfect. God, isn't that just cooler than... I mean, guys, this is so exciting that this all fits so perfectly in here. And now I've got... Oh, I'm setting the wing on here, so it's not going to want to slide into the groove all the way there. But these are the leading edge devices, everybody, that the skins are connected to that will work with the four motorized. So there's a motorized one here, here, I'm sorry, here, here, and here. So there's four servos actuating the entire leading edge. So what I'm going to do now is not bore you with me screwing every one of these in, but what I'm going to do now is get out I have 500 of these half-inch long 440s with button head screws. There's 6. Let's do some rough ciphering here for a minute, just so you know. 1, 2. So hang on a minute. I've got 1, 2. Okay, I got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's do some quick math. So 14. There's 84 of the 440s just to hold these devices in on this side of the wing. Altogether, this plane has over 400 of those 440 type fasteners. The spreadsheet I have on this, when I built this plane, everybody, every part and every piece is in that spreadsheet. So it's going to be kind of neat when this plane is done, and if it flies, I'll do kind of a documentary of the airplane, and I'll start really listing all that stuff. If the plane flies once or twice and crashes, then we'll start the next project. And so, and it's not going to crash, everybody, okay? I mean, I got an email the other day where I made a joke that if it crashes, I'll just move on. And I did. I literally got bitched out by somebody saying, how could you be flying a 75-pound airplane or a 100-pound airplane and think it could crash? Think of all the people it could kill. Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, at the flying sites we fly, we never fly over people's heads. We always fly away from the people if we're test flying. The moment the airplane starts to do something wonky, most pilots I know would just put the airplane in. They would not sacrifice flying over people to try to get their airplane back. I know me, for one, I've put one airplane into the ground because I had a servo tray come loose inside the fuselage, and I was able to somewhat fly the airplane, but when I basically couldn't really control it, I landed it way out in the field in front of me, and all it did was tear the landing gear off the bottom of it. It didn't even destroy the airplane. But I was not going to try to turn, downwind base to final to land it and maybe have it go toward the audience or toward the crowd or whoever, or the flight line. So that's probably the update for tonight. I'm going to get all these screwed in tonight. I might come back later tonight and show you what it all looks like when it's done. But right now, this is, I'm not going to make you watch paint dry. It's just not fair to you. So everybody have an awesome time this evening. I probably will come back once I got these all screwed in to show you what they look like. So take it easy, everybody, and thanks for watching my videos. Rock on. Okay, everybody, we're back. So basically, I got this wing completely, all the actuators screwed into the bottom of it that I needed to. So that's the leading edge actuators. That's the aileron and flap actuators. Wanted to share one thing. I have 2 receivers in this airplane, and what's really cool is on one wing the spoiler, and the other wing will be the aileron on one receiver. So if I lose a receiver, I still have roll authority out of the left and right wing. The only thing I'll be losing is an elevator half, which I don't think that is going to matter. I've had planes where an elevator's actually blown off the airplane, and I was able to fly the plane fine with an elevator. But I do want to talk a little bit about a kind of a philosophical thing. I know people who fly $30,000 jets with one receiver. There's a lot of controversy out there that if you really need, if 2 receivers make your plane more safe. Okay, think about this. The reason they got rid of 4-engine jets like the 747 was because 2 engines had less part, were easier to maintain, and ultimately became more reliable from downtime. It wasn't more or less safe for the passenger. It was how much downtime there was for maintenance of an airplane that had all those extra parts. So, I've only flown a couple of my large airplanes with 2 receivers, and to me they're a little bit more problematic because I had to make sure that all 4 batteries were charged, all 4 switches were working, because you got 2 batteries per receiver. But on this airplane I will have 2 receivers. And on my riser diagram I haven't broken them up yet, but the way I designed my S-Bus network in the airplane is set up for 2 receivers. So what I'm going to do tonight, just to let you know, I got all the actuators mounted, all the leading edge slats are in. Here's all the skins that make up the leading edge. And some of this may not show up very good because I'm still messing with the settings of my airplane, and these white wings are really bleeding out a lot of other things. But let's see, this is the center one. This is the right, and this is the left. So the way the leading edges go on, hang on, I gotta slide the wing off its mount. Off the little stand it's sitting in. So this is what's really cool, everybody. This is just really, really neat, the way this all fit. But these are the leading edges skins. Okay. And it's kind of hard to see it with the way the camera's kind of bleeding over the white, bright wings. When this is pulled tight, it fits perfect right here. So it is really, really, this is really just slicker than hell. So what I've got to do tonight is on the other wing over there, I'm going to get all the actuators installed. Come back to this wing. I will flip it over temporarily so I can check the servos for the leading edge slats to make sure all of them are moving the same degrees, the same speed and everything. Then I'll flip the wing back over, put the leading edge slat on from the bottom, then flip it over and pull it tight. Do some testing on it, set it aside, do the same thing on that wing, set it aside. Then I need to set up a jig where I take the center section and the outboard wings and set them all up together in here and get the S-Bus network installed in the center section of the wing. And then once I've got that done, then I think I'll be really close to taking like the leading edge slats back off and painting them and getting them done. I still got to put the I was going to 3D print spoilers, so you all know. These are 3D printed spoilers I designed. They're way too heavy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to 3D print. If you can see these little holes in here, I'm going to 3D print just the holes, and then take a piece of plexiglass and take 2 layers of fiberglass, let it cure, and then I will just glue that to this kind of honeycomb, and it will make these half as heavy as they are right now. These spoilers are way too heavy, and so I still got to do the fiberglass skin for the spoilers, and so that's it for tonight, everybody. I'm just wanting to get back to this. It's only about 9:15, 9:20, so I'm going to work until about 11 on that other wing tonight. And I'm still testing this camera and getting all the settings right. I'm feeling really comfortable with it right now. I love how well the audio is working, though there are some adjustments on the audio I'm still playing with. Sometimes it's either too loud or it's just right, but I'll fix that in editing. So thanks for watching my videos, everybody. You all have a stupendously cool night. And I have gotten a boatload of emails, people thanking me for coming back onto YouTube. And I'm still going to do the Facebook Lives about once a week, just so when people want to ask me questions, they can. So if you're following me on Facebook, I'm going to try to do those kind of at a set time. I don't know when yet. They'll probably be every Friday or Saturday night at like 9 o'clock, unless I'm traveling and for work. But yeah, I think this is all, it's all coming together really good, everybody. So have a great night, and I'll catch you later. Rock on, everybody. Thanks for watching the videos.